What is this?
What's that? Sweet Sweet Shopping?
What did you get now?
Well, this motor scooter right here.
No. Wait, look at this.
No, Lee, I'm not in the middle of doing something. You gotta interrupt me every 2 seconds.
Sorry. Go ahead, do that. Put air in your tire.
Is it okay if I do my job here?
Sure. I'm patient.
You're impatient. He's a Yankee.
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yankee Doodle Dandy. So, I got me a chopper. And all this, it's not really, I mean, it's mine, but it's more the businesses than anything. I want to build it and then take it to shows. Because I want to take 2 things to the shows. Like, I'd like to be to the point where I could take like 2 cars, but I can't afford to take 2 cars because my trailer's not big enough. The trailer's only 40 foot. We can't fit 2 cars in there, but we could probably fit a car and a bike. So I'm gonna build this Cholo style because that's mine. Tall legs, cool paint job, bag it, lay it out, 21 front. Show you a picture of what I want.
He asked me if I was Garrett's mom.
Are you Garrett's mom?
No.
Who are you?
Cousin.
Why are you even here?
This is the lady that keeps the office nice and clean.
This is a cleaning lady.
Right. That's right.
She doesn't have a name. It's just cleaning.
Carolyn.
Lady.
Carolyn the cleaner.
It's cleaning lady. He calls me.
That's essentially the kind of bike I want to build out of this thing.
Oh, see, that looks much better.
Much better.
Much better.
I just gotta get it there. So if anybody out there wants all the stuff off this, let me know, because windshield's gotta go. That seat's a little too wide. It's gotta go.
It's made for a fat bottom girl.
This is a cross country seat here.
Oh, man,
Yeah, it looks comfortable.
It's comfortable.
But you want the one that like
I want the one that's uncomfortable to ride.
the one that
I need
just
to
would
look.
absolutely hurt your taint so bad if you rode it.
Exactly. The windshield's going, seat's going, this extra seat's going, bags are going, third person or second person steps are going. If anybody wants any of that stuff, hit me up. I'll make them a deal. If you got any cool stuff that I might need for this, or if you make parts, I guess.
Yeah, if you fat parts up.
If you fat parts for this, it's a 06 Heritage Softail Classic. So if you have the parts to make this the way I am, message me and then help me find the stuff. I know nothing about motorcycles at all. Nothing. And the guy that did know something about motorcycles doesn't work here anymore. So I'm really like lost in the dark here.
Oh, too soon.
It's not too soon.
No, I meant like he quit too soon.
He quit too soon. I don't know how to do this. I'm not a motorcycle guy. This is not my thing. I don't know anything about motorcycles. Zero. Like literally zero about motorcycles. I can ride it. I know how to ride bikes. Lots of dirt bikes and motorcycles. And I used to ride crotch rockets, and I was that jackass that used to go on the highway and ride wheelies at 75, 80 miles an hour like a dum-dums. I really don't care to ride.
You gonna ride this thing?
No, probably not.
You're gonna build it and sell it.
It's a show cycle. It's going to the shows with the cars.
I want to take 2 things to the shows, and I can't fit 2 cars, so why not take a car and bike?
I guess I see the logic on it.
You're gonna change the front end on it.
Yeah, I want to change a lot of stuff on it. Pretty much all I need is the frame and the motor. You want to see how bitchin' I look on this thing?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I look pretty kick-ass. And you can take some pictures if you want here.
I don't know, dude. You got that whole like Lorenzo Llama flick going on. You look all renegade and everything.
Lorenzo Llamas.
Yeah, you remember?
Windshield.
You remember?
What about this windshield?
Well, you know, I
How
can't
sweet
see
is
it from
that?
this angle that well.
Here, do you want me to hold the camera so you can get on the back?
You get on the back.
I'm not getting on the back.
On the
of that.
back.
I'm not letting you
I'm
put
not
that on
getting-
YouTube.
I'm not getting on the back of that.
Come on.
No.
Where's Garrett at?
He's in Home Depot.
Me
Oh.
and Ron should take this thing first.
You guys should
Where's
take it for a
Ron?
ride.
That's who we
GoPro
need.
on here.
Get Ron on the back.
Dude, people would
And
love
roll.
that. Casey and Ron rolling.
You should do it.
An outlaw hunting outlaws, a bounty hunter, a renegade.
I am working on a color for the 32. So I'm trying to match it right now. You want to see all the fun spray outs?
Yeah.
This is most of them. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
That's crazy. They're all different.
Well, yeah, we've been doing them. So I got in Thursday, and we weren't gonna do this car at all. And then Casey wanted to paint it, so I started working on the color, see if we could match it, and then we kind of bailed on it and decided to do the white resto mod van instead. So we shot that on Saturday. We came in Saturday, shot the resto mod. So now before I leave, I want to try to get this thing dialed in. So I'm gonna go check it. You want to look at it?
Yeah.
All right. I got it pretty close right now. This is the best I've had it so far.
I thought you had it on Friday.
Well, I thought I had it on Friday too, Bruce.
You had Casey's words good to you?
Hey, you got in my head.
I'll do that.
I'll do one more adjustment on it yet. You want to check though. So we'll do one more. One more adjustment. This is like this color's pretty much all pearl. But I can see in the body, there's like a little bit of metallic. So I'm gonna drop a little bit of metallic in this and try to get it to sparkle a little bit. Last night what we were doing was we were trying some new products for him to use in the shop. And one of the, I'll just shut this off quick, show you what we were doing. Grab this mill gauge. So we use a tool called a mill gauge, and basically what this does is this measures the amount of material on a car. So when you have a car that's bare metal, that's a 0 rating. So you start metal, which is 0, and as you add coatings, you start to get a mill rate.
Okay.
So this truck, for example, went to blast, comes back, gets a coat of epoxy. So it's a protection coat. This thing should mill at like maybe 1. So we'll see what we got here. We'll just do it quick so you can see it. 1. So 1, 1, 4, 1. So what we're doing is 1 mil is what you're gonna get like about per coat. So coat of epoxy is a mil, sealer will give you about a half a mil, and then your base coat will give you about a half a mil. So I want to put that in perspective because we're spraying these parts for mils, and the idea of it, let me get these lights on. The idea of it is that when the car is done, when the car is cleared, they want to have as many mils as possible without the product failing. So you just saw that we had 1 mil on that. This hood was scanned at 4 mils to start, and then we did coat of sealer, a coat of black base coat, and then clear. So look at the mill rate we're getting on this. 15. So that 15 mils, 10 of that, or about 9 of that is clear. So that allows him to basically come in, block sand this whole thing with 6, block it with 8, 1,000, 12, 15, 2, 3, 5, and then polish it and still have about 3 mils of clear left. So what we did here last night was we used 2 different clears. We're just messing around, seeing what kind of film rates we can get without failure, and then we were trying 3 different sealers. So we did 6 coats of clear on that hood, 4 coats on this. So let's see what we got with 4. 12, 10. So this started at 5. So you're looking very comparable mill rate. But this is, like I said, this is a brand new car, clear. This is called RMC 2000. It's a low VOC, high solids clear. So with as well as it worked last night, with as good as it laid down, this might be a clear that he starts to frequently used. If you see all these imperfections, just for this, we actually have what they call a wet mill gauge. So a wet mill gauge we actually stick into the film as he's spraying it, and that will show up. Let me grab it, I'll show you. And I'll show you how it fits in there. It tells us what you have in a wet mill. This is a wet mill gauge, and you'll see these numbers. These are basically wet mill readings. So you put a coat of clear on, you lay this down into the film, and you pick it up. And when you pick it up, whatever is basically touching is how many mils you have. So last night we were rotating this around, and we finally wound up with about, I think it was 16 or 18 wet mils, which you're gonna lose about 30 to 40% of that when it's dry. So now that's what we have about 12 mils left, anywhere from 12 to 10 to 12, depending on where you are in the hood. So a lot of kind of research, and that's, you know, people don't understand that when it comes to doing a car to the caliber they're doing them, it's not as simple as just painting it and it goes out the door. There's a fair amount of science behind it, measuring and things like that. We also did something with the booth on Friday. We had to go call Spinisi because the booth was running at a negative pressure. So what a negative pressure means is that when the cabin runs, it's drawing itself in. And what we're trying to do is get a positive pressure and push it out. So Spinisi was able to help us out on Friday, get into the control panel and get the thing running on a positive pressure. So you'll notice when he paints now, you'll see a little bit more overspray in the air, and then it slowly evacuates. As before, the overspray was leaving too fast, and the faster the airspeed, the quicker the clear wants to skin over, and the bottom will lay wet. So essentially that would be like baking a cake, putting the cake in the oven at 500 degrees for 4 minutes. The outside's gonna get nice and cooked up, but the inside's gonna be gooey. So what we're trying to do is slow that airspeed down and get us some positive pressure so that film can release naturally on its own and get a good cure from the bottom to the top. And that prevents a lot of application error problems. So we got the booth set, got some good clear work done, got the van sprayed, working on the orange. So productive couple of days, I would say. A little bit of flake in it. It's just a little bit that you catch with the right light. So what we're gonna do now is basically just I'm gonna throw 0.1 grams in, which is really nothing at all. I'm gonna go with a coarse flake. See, the goal was just get this color done, and then I think he's gonna probably paint it. Since Ron's here, they're probably gonna try to thrash on it and get it done in the next couple days here. So I'm assuming they're gonna paint it this week. So get a spray out card ready. Spray out card basically, it gives you 4 shades here. You got a white, a gray, dark gray, and a black. And what we'll do is we'll actually spray over this until this is all covered. And the reason we do this is, so if you look at the 32, for example, there's a couple primer spots on it. So we want to know how many coats it actually takes to get coverage. Since we're repainting it the same color, we want to get coverage over our primer and make sure the whole body is uniform. So I know from spraying this out a few times now that this color takes exactly 4 coats for coverage. So what we'll do is I'll do 4 coats on this, and when he goes to shoot the body, when we get the color dialed in, he'll do 2 coats over his primer, and then we'll do 2 coats over everything. So that's 4 coats over primer, and then 2 coats over the body, and that'll give him even color and some pretty good coverage. So that's why we got to do the spray out card every single time. And with the complexity of colors, like this is a lot of pearl, and there's red oxide and black and white and flop control. You can't just stick match it because you got to be able to see color. You see color in 2 ways, what they call face and flop. So you see the head on of the color, which is how it matches when you look straight on, and then you see at the angle how does it match. So right now I have a really good side tone. It's nice and matched up to the frame, but the face isn't quite coarse enough. So the main pearl for this is actually what they call 66V. It's a gold aluminum. So that's the main toner load of this color. And then it has some red and some orange. So that's our main
Hey, look. Someone reads the YouTube comments.
What?
Notice anything different in your appearance today?
What? The safety glasses?
Yeah.
I always wear my safety glasses.
Oh, yeah. He always wears his safety glasses, guys. Y'all need to go
Except
back
for
in the
the
last
one
video and look
time-
really hard.
One time, we didn't expect the windshield. We thought it was going to push
Yeah.
out. We didn't expect the windshield to blow up.
And I'm mad at y'all anyway. Y'all don't even know what I'm doing. Leave me alone. Y'all thought I just told me to, Casey just told me, hey Keenan, take that window out. Okay.
And everybody's picking on Keenan now.
Well, as they should. Y'all should see the stuff that that he didn't record that he was doing in the car.
Yeah. And I'm wearing safety glasses because it's already almost landed in my eye earlier when I wasn't wearing them.
Keenan, tell everybody how many times you've already been to the hospital for your eyes. You've learned your lesson.
See, the thing is, when I get something in my eye, it's in my hair, and then I get it like when I go home in my eye.
Oh, okay.
So not even at work.
It's not like the direct contact.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
So safety glasses are about 75%.
Right.
Effective.
Because more than likely you'll get it in your eye after you've taken it off and gone
Yeah,
home.
because this, I'm sure there's some shit right here.
There is.
So I'm gonna take it off, and then I go. "Ooh."
Accidentally wipe your face
Yeah.
and it just smears it across your eyes.
That's how I usually get it.
So what are you gonna just chisel away at this thing by hand, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Dude, it looks like you've already done a lot.
Yeah, that's just today. This morning, about an hour. And I don't have to deal with any harsh chemicals like Ron.